Hello and welcome back. Today we will have another episode of my Rush discography, going over all the different records. Today is episode 4, which features 2112 from 1976. And we will get going on that in just a sec. So 2112, right here. This is a pretty monumental record for me. Back in 1997, Rush were touring on their Test for Echo record. I was friends with a couple guys who were huge Rush fans. Band was playing here locally, and they asked me to go with them. I thought cool. I knew Tom Sawyer, I knew Distant Early Warning, Time Stand Still, a lot of the 80s stuff that I grew up around. Wasn't a die-hard fan, but I did like the band. I thought they were cool. I thought it'd be good. So we went there. It was a stadium show. Stadium was pretty much half empty. At the time, Rush wasn't as big as they had been or would be later. So it was kind of interesting, sort of a half-empty arena. And what they were doing as part of the Test for Echo tour was playing the complete side of 2112, beginning to end. Something that bands do a little more often now, but at the time I don't think that was a lot of bands were doing that kind of thing, playing like a whole side of a record or a whole record all the way through. So it was kind of interesting. I had no clue about 2112. I just knew hits from the 80s mainly. Maybe a few from the late 70s, but that was about it. So when they got to the part where they were playing that whole thing, the 2112 suite, I was talking to my friend about it, and he was explaining the story of what the whole thing is all about. And I thought, I actually said to him, I think that would make a good film, good movie. But that was such an amazing show. Them doing that from top to bottom really made an impression on me. And from that point on, I was a big fan. So my quest after that was to go and find as much stuff as I could get by Rush. Fortunately at the time, for me at least, vinyl records were on the sort of downswing. This was 97, 98. They were pretty cheap. I was able to pick up a pretty large collection of Rush records for $1 or $2 each. I think even, yeah, you can still see the price tag on this. I still have it. It's $1. So yeah, you can imagine I got, even just for $20, I got like a ton of Rush records, or a ton of records in general. Stores were just getting rid of them. They were just like, people were downloading stuff. People were still buying CDs, and records were just not a thing. So yeah, good for me though. Now, as far as the album itself, this was recorded and released in 1976. They did it recorded in Toronto over the course of about 4 weeks. At the time, the band was in significant financial hardship. Caress of Steel hadn't done very well at all, even though the band really liked it. They were getting pressure from their label to put something out that was a little more commercial. Mercury were thinking of dropping them, but they were going to give them one more album to try to do something. But instead of doing something more commercial, they continued on the path that they had started with Fly By Night, Caress of Steel, and the whole prog rock thing. And that's when they came up with this, 2112. So 2112, the music and lyrics are influenced by Ayn Rand, actually. It is basically a science fiction story. It's kind of similar or inspired by her dystopian novel of, I think, 1934 maybe or something in there. It was called Anthem, which is also their label, so there's obviously another influence there. But yeah, the story is similar to Anthem. And apparently that's one of the reasons he credited her with the influence was I guess he didn't want a lawsuit. Yeah, so it starts with Overture, which is mostly instrumental, ends with the line by Geddy Lee, "The meek shall inherit the earth," which of course is from the Bible. After that opening, it goes into the temples of Syrinx, which is which is all about the priests who rule over this society where creativity and individuality has been outlawed, basically, and no one's really even aware of that. I mean, it's just not been a part of their life for so long. The next track in the suite is Discovery. So this is where a man who is not named discovers a guitar, beaten up guitar in a cave, starts making music with it, and is delighted by the ability to do this creative work. Next up is Presentation, is when he brings it to the priests to show them, and they're like, yeah, we know all about this, don't annoy us further, they say. It's just a waste of time, and they destroy it. And they also banish him from the area, from their society, I guess. The next track on is Oracle the Dream, which is where he has a dream about another planet where creativity is abundant and everyone is making art and stuff. But when he wakes up and realizes that that's not real in where he is, and he'll never be a part of that, he gets depressed and he commits suicide. Next up is Soliloquy, and it ends off with Grand Finale, which is mostly instrumental. It appears at the end of it, you hear them saying that we have taken over planets of the universe. We have taken over. So it seems like there may have been a war, and they're controlling everything now. So that's side one. It's pretty heavy, pretty cool though, pretty amazing. That's what I heard when I went to that concert. That whole thing, it was really cool. Side two is just more regular rock songs, traditional stuff. They've got A Passage to Bangkok, which apparently was based on, inspired by weed, and the best, apparently according to Geddy Lee, the best places to get marijuana around the world. Twilight Zone, that was inspired by the fact that the band liked the show and some of the stories that Rod Serling had written, and that inspired that. Lessons is a song that Alice Lyson wrote by himself. It's one of the few. Tears is next. It is a song, a romantic ballad basically, and then it ends with Something for Nothing, which actually is my favorite track on side two. That's a pretty catchy rock song, and I really enjoy that one. So, and this album ended up doing quite well for them. It probably saved their career. It got very good reviews. It was very popular. It's actually the second best selling behind Moving Pictures of all their records. So it was a good job by Mercury to let them do it, and a good job by them to continue progress, staying true to their vision and doing what they want to do. So cover is pretty iconic as well. I mean, with the star there. And if you look at the inside, of course, has the Starman right there, which has been on many t-shirts as well. And also you have Rush in their classic robes. Went through a robe phase, they did. So yeah, so this is 2112. For me, the album that probably changed it all as far as me becoming a fan of the band, and I think it's phenomenal. So anyway, that's episode 4 of this series. Hope you liked it. If you did, you can subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Episode 5 will be coming hopefully soon, and other videos as well. I will be filming more, so hope you stay tuned for that. Hope everyone has a great day, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.